All right, guys, welcome to the Unfiltered podcast. That's unfiltered without the E. We have a bomb ass show for you guys today with two lovely guests. So let's get started.
With Eric and Ange.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for our second portion of tonight's episode. We did 2 shows in one day, and today we have 2 special guests. You guys are from Miami, I believe, so we're going to go ahead and just introduce you guys with your name, your age, where you're from, where do you live, and what do you do. We'll start with lovely lady here.
I'm Ariella, and I'm 36. I'm a business broker. I live here in Miami Beach, Florida.
Beautiful.
Hey, I'm Chris.
Speak into the mic a little bit.
I'm Chris. 27, actually 27 today. Kind of weird.
What?
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Surprise!
Yes, happy birthday.
I am a professional vinyl installer. I own a professional business, actually based out of Fort Lauderdale, but I live in Miami.
Okay,
Nice.
good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. And then here, I'm Ange. You guys know who I am, the crazy villain here. And then
I'm Eric, guys. You guys already know who I am. So.
okay, sweet. And today we're going to be switching up some topics. So I want to go into depth a little bit. Everybody here has social media. Obviously, it's how we all know each other. And based on social media, you can never really tell someone's story, their journey, what they've gone through. So I want to just kind of just be a little nosy if you guys are open to just talking about where you are in life right now and essentially what kind of got you there. So I know in social media and your bio, you said you're an anti-influencer.
Right.
Why? I haven't seen anybody put that in their bio. So I'm curious what made you put that?
So anti-influencer is essentially just saying that I'm me. I'm not trying to sell you or anyone anything. This is just me. This is the life I'm living. These are the things that I do. This is what I'm interested in. And I believe that's what Instagram was all about when it started. It was just a gallery for you to keep your pictures. And I am old enough to know when Instagram started and remember, right? The trashy filters they came with. I'm sorry, trashy. The terrible filters they came with, right? So it was originally intended just to be a gallery where you could just put pictures because, they wanted Facebook to become more conversational. So Instagram was just this, novel idea of just a gallery of showing yourself off, right? And then it turned into what can I sell and to how many people can I sell it?
Mhm.
So it lost sort of the touch of just self-expression, authentic self-expression to me. So that's all it is. It's just authentic self-expression, and I'm not selling anything. And I think the world has really gone a different way because of social media and Instagram, especially Twitter, because everybody's got to be sensational. Everybody has to be better than their neighbor, and everybody has to sell you something.
Did
Not
you
selling anything.
Did you have a bad experience on social media or something? Because you sound very passionate about it.
Mhm.
No.
So this has been since Instagram has been here. You've had a great experience. You came in guns hot, knowing like this is what I'm going to be here for.
Well, it's what I came for, and it's what I stayed for. I got really annoyed when ads came out, and then I couldn't see my friends and family.
Mhm.
I just, I wanted to see reality.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you moved to Miami.
I moved to Miami
Okay, and you've been here how long now?
since 2013.
Have you noticed like a shift on social media being here, or has it been the same in general since you moved here? Like the stigma behind living in Miami.
Oh, 100%. There's been a shift. Yeah, before. So when I moved here to Miami, it was a place where, one, there was culture, and I wanted my daughters to have culture. I have daughters now that are graduating high school. I wanted them to have culture. It was a place where everybody from the world was here. It was more of a happier place, easy, work to live, not live to work type of place. And now it's a place where everybody comes to get famous.
Yeah, that's changed a lot.
Oh, that's very famous. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. We'll touch back on that. Let's talk to. So
No, I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I
Love
enjoyed that.
Talk to the mic a little bit.
Sorry.
You can grab the
Hello.
mic into
Yeah.
you if you want. You
Oh,
can,
can I?
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be careful with your cups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got.
Because you're a very chill guy. I feel like you would like to just grab the mic and put the cups on this side. Make that
Yeah,
much easier.
I think that's right. Actually, I was gonna start playing.
Yeah, the
little
whole thing.
tune.
Okay, so what exactly do you do?
I wrap cars. it's pretty cut and dry. I started about the time that I moved to Miami, so 2020,
Mhm.
2021. When did COVID start?
That's a good question. 2020, I feel
I
like.
don't know. It's been a blur.
Yeah.
Whenever COVID
2020.
started is about the time that I started wrapping cars. So I went from a job that was pretty fruitful. Just wanted to try something different. Got into cars. So I ended up moving down here and learning how to do it. And here I am. Yeah, I go everything from Rolls Royce to Lamborghini. I tend to do more high end, but I do enjoy pretty much wrapping anything. So
Right. So based on your Instagram, so I'm going to be a typical person here. Your Instagram comes off very like, I'm here to wrap cars. This is Miami. But your personality is drastically different. I would say like you're actually a lot more welcoming and less intimidating in person than you are on your Instagram. Do you think that?
Wow. Well, I didn't, but I guess now I have to.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess the Wolf on Wall Street approach isn't
But-
working for everybody. So.
No, like on Instagram, I have to say, I don't know if anyone else has seen his Instagram, but I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything about cars or shoes. So as a girl, I was like, wow, this guy looks like he knows a lot more things about cars. And I'm just gonna, but when you came in here, you were like very jolly, very giggly, very welcoming, very like normal, charismatic and everything. And that's like one of the craziest things is I like to see that because most of the time, if I see someone on Instagram, they look crazy, intimidating, fun, and you meet them in person and they're dull.
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, so you spent all your energy just putting it into a photo instead of carrying that energy in real life. And I think like you actually deliver more in real life than you do on Instagram, which there's a lot on Instagram already. So you're doing extra work, I would have to say.
Well, I that is probably the nicest compliment I've ever received. People step it up.
I wasn't gassing. I'm not paid to give him this compliment. I'm being very honest.
It's paid.
Yeah. Sponsor us, guys.
I will say that my Instagram and the particular, I have a lot of cleaning up to do. So I have 4 total.
Mhm.
One,
wow.
one is a rental company that my friend and I started for yachts specifically. We're about to launch. We're focusing on more giving back and then also organizing any sort of cleanups and stuff like that we can in the area. And then the wrapping, of course, and everything else is wrapping related. But I don't really post pictures of myself, but if you look, you can scroll pretty far back and see some old stuff. And
I
feel
did.
like
I saw. I was looking at everybody, but then
oh my god, yeah, I think 2013 is when I got Instagram as well. Yeah.
Wow, 2013. Shit, that shit sounds so.
I was in
long ago.
I was in high school. Yeah.
Wow.
I had my kids already by then.
Yeah.
2012.
Wow. So do you feel like your business is where you want it to be, or are you continuously chasing this feeling or this goal that you have in mind?
I think that once we don't have a goal to chase, life gets boring.
That's a good point. I like that.
So I'm not done.
You're not done?
I don't know how big it's gonna get, but I want to continue to provide like the best quality I can and give as many deals as I can because I do well for myself for sure. I just feel like I could definitely do more.
I feel like you downplay what you do a lot, but I feel like it's a lot more like intricate and a lot of work that gets put into it and work ethic as far as the whole package. And you're just like, yeah, I'm just the guy who wraps cars.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's definitely difficult, and I have
Yeah.
my challenges.
He's
for
humble.
sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're a humble guy.
No, I'm
No?
not. I'm not. Remember, I'm not from Miami.
Oh, we love that.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, you Miami guys,
I was
relax.
actually-
Don't
yeah.
come at me.
I was actually having a conversation with him because I saw his number and I realized that he was staying in DC before he got here. So
Oh, we know you're a sucker for that.
Yeah.
He's already melting. You're already his
I
favorite
do- I-
person
I
just
love
because of
people
that.
from the DMV.
Okay.
What you said right there was very interesting though. You said when you don't have something to chase, right? Do you think that also applies to relationships? Like, don't you feel like men are always chasing? Like when you're in a relationship, don't you feel like the chase ends?
Man.
Like if you've been in a relationship for
All right, let me
10
get-
plus years, right? Don't you feel like the chase ended?
No, I mean, there's too many different variables, too many different things coming into play for that question to even answer that. Because, you know, I could meet somebody tomorrow and I could be with them for 20 years and it could be something fun and new enough to keep interest in life. You know what I mean? But then I could meet somebody next week, completely different person. There's just too many different variables to answer that question. But personally, I believe that there is, of course, an end goal when you're in a relationship per se for a lot of people, which would be like marriage, kids, blah, 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 this and that. I have gotten to the point in my life where I don't really chase anymore. I look for the interest. If they're interested as well, then I put my full attention into that, and that's that. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, it works. Great. My goals right now are with my business, with my family, not necessarily a relationship in Miami. So that might seem a little cold. I don't know. I've just gotten to the point where I can't fail myself. I know that.
Did you become that way, or did it just hit you? Or have you always been like that? I feel like if I'm wrong, correct me. Like I feel like once men have like find out what they want to do in life or chase after, or just kind of like their end game, anything that was blurry amongst like your journey, you kind of just center it to one goal and just kind of like work your way up what you want in life, as opposed to just adding all the foo-foo stuff. Like, did something hit you and you're just like, let me just simplify my life?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was when I moved to Miami.
Really?
Yeah, around that time.
Oh, this is why Miami's a good topic. Okay, let's. What is it about Miami that made you just say, let's just simplify everything? The top 3 things. Let's say top 3 things.
That made me like not want to chase after women.
Yeah.
Or
just in
pursue a
general. Like,
relationship,
this seems like you have more clarity.
I think Miami is a good place to hang out. I think Miami is a good place to make money. I think Miami is also a good place to have friends and family for sure. But I don't think Miami is a place I would find myself living in forever. I think that I'll have business here. I think that I'll work here, but I will not spend, for probably this coming year, I'll be spending half my year somewhere else.
I agree with that. How do you feel about that, Ariel, with that statement you just said about Miami? Because you've been here for a hot minute.
I love Miami.
No, it's great.
I'll die here. I keep telling everybody I'll die here.
Really?
But Miami's a different world for men and women.
Yeah.
So for women, Miami is
Yeah.
it's the jackpot, to be honest. You can come here as a woman and live like a queen and really, not really have to work as hard as a man. For a man here in Miami, it's the total opposite. It's the total, and I'm telling you.
Well, what is it about Miami that you love? Let me just, you gotta hear it out.
So, one, I love the people. I do love the people of Miami.
And the croquetas.
And the
croquetas.
The croquetas. Yeah, I love the food, but I love the climate.
Think the food? I'm sorry, I have not had good food here. Where is everybody finding good food at?
Bro, what?
Little Havana.
There's a restaurant that opens, every 6 months. That's new. It's good for a couple of months, and then somebody else comes down, opens something. It's new. It's good. You know? So there's always something new to do here.
Okay.
I love the weather. I have a garden. I have a house. I have a garden in the back. I like gardening. I love being by the water. I love the beach. I love yoga. It facilitates all of those things for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as far as looking for a relationship, not everything is about relationship.
Oh, you're not in a relationship?
No.
Okay.
No.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. And so I think that's where a lot of people get hung up. And I feel like that's where Chris is, feeling so much fulfillment, is the fact that his purpose is not in a chase or looking for a relationship or looking for someone. He's got fulfillment in what he does, and he's got pride in what he does, and he has a purpose. And I think a lot of people's, dissatisfaction in life and where they try to fill it is looking for a relationship,
right,
instead of a purpose.
You sound like my mom.
You're welcome.
I can't deal with this.
Yeah, I think Chris has been hurt by it, or he's had an experience with enough Miami women to be like, you know what?
A couple.
Fuck these women. Let me focus on my craft. Not like that, but I'm gonna say it the way that you want to say it. But you're like, oh, forget these women. I'm gonna focus on my craft. I'm gonna work hard, and eventually, when I get to the point that I want to get to, the women someone will come along, or you'll reach the success that you need to where a woman is gonna be like, holy shit, this guy is a winner. You know what I mean?
Don't you think that's true?
Well, I just got here a few months ago, and I'm telling you, like, it's a whole different world. You lived in DC.
Yeah, I will say that dating here is very different. When I first moved here, I was a bit naive to it. And it's not that it's wrong. Anybody can do whatever you want. If you want to go find a sugar daddy, do it. That's awesome.
Speak facts, though. Tell it like it is.
No, but I'm saying. I lost my
Be honest. They're gold diggers here. Be honest.
No. Not everybody. In the beginning, I had some relationships, not necessarily very serious ones, but some relationships that I did enjoy thoroughly, and they were with girls from Miami. But it seems to be a lot of people are coming from out of Miami, coming here and looking for those things.
Yeah.
I think, and then over time, some Miami women, unfortunately, have acclimated to that and also begun doing that. That's what I think is happening. And over the last few years, I've definitely seen way more of that. But it's not about that. I'm just saying. Yeah.
All right.
The instant cutoff of that.
Yeah.
No, I mentioned that before. Everyone that lives here is actually very normal.
Mhm.
They're actually the most casual, the most subtle. They don't care for the flashy, all the stuff that people are flashing that Miami is about. I've noticed. It's people that are moving here, that they're living to this crazy standard. They think that this is what Miami is about. And the good girls, I mentioned this before, the good girls who are in the house, who didn't know anything, these little Bambies are like, you know what? She looks like she's having fun on Instagram.
Mhm.
I'm going to copy whatever she's doing.
Yep.
Whatever she's blowing, I'm blowing. And that's the problem. I just think that it's just really, it's getting toxic overall.
And it's I wouldn't say it's just girls either. It's men too, just in a different way. Like everyone's changing.
For a fact, with Miami,
I can definitely say it. Like I changed a little bit. I got into a phase where like, oh, let me wear designer. It makes me look cooler. No, it doesn't. I'd rather put a tattoo that goes on my body forever.
Right.
Not a t-shirt I'm gonna mess up at the club next weekend.
Right.
Blew out my bank account to get the best table possible.
Yeah, and tables here aren't cheap, by the way.
We don't need that. We don't need.
But so is it safe to say that women set the standard, but men allowed that standard, right? So like, women want to be on yachts, they want to be in the nice cars, but men actually provide that here in Miami.
Yeah, but they also sometimes look for other things in payment from women. I mean, like, I know plenty of people. All right, just look at Tinder, for example. Okay, Tinder in Miami.
Mhm.
Okay, you've got girls that are like, make me laugh. Okay, swipe. She's cute. Whoop. Then you've got girls that are like, do you have a boat? If you don't have a boat, don't fucking message me. Like, but it's like so many more of the boat girls than the if you're funny.
Yeah,
swipe right.
I assume anybody on Tinder just wants to fuck.
I mean, I guess that's what it's for. But I've actually dated a girl
You
for
cannot
like 4
sit here
years
and
off of Tinder.
tell me that you're going on Tinder to make a friend. I personally don't believe that.
I mean, what? I never said that.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
saying like anyone.
If
in
it doesn't work
general.
out, we can be friends. If
Yeah.
it works out, we can still be friends. If it works out, we can be more. We don't.
All I'm saying in general, I think most people that go on Tinder are going there for one reason.
Oh yeah, to fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
Wait, have you been on Tinder?
I did.
Do you like Tinder?
Okay, so my Tinder story is I'd never been on Tinder. Earlier in the year, I got on Tinder. I was
Okay.
on Tinder for a week,
Uh-huh.
and I scheduled 10 dates in 7 days.
Whoa.
And
Yo.
Damn.
I went on 10 dates in 7 days. and-
What?
To try it out.
That's badass.
Did you go on all 10?
That's badass.
I went on all 10 dates.
What?
Yeah, I went on a volleyball date.
How'd
went
those
on a
dates
golf
end?
date.
See, that's the type of dates I want to go on.
There was only 1 second.
But no one wants to go on those. No one wants to go to Top Golf or even go on a real golf course.
What?
Yeah, no, they don't do it anymore. It's
Oh.
unfortunate.
You guys
Well,
have a
no,
couple?
those were
Everyone's
my
like,
dates.
take me to Sexy
What-
Fish and buy me a Prada.
That's what I
bag.
mean.
Oh, no.
That's Miami though.
Well, no, one was a calisthenics date. We worked out. And another one was beach
How
volleyball.
old are these people you're meeting? Like
Younger than me. They were
really?
the only person that had a second date was 6 years older than me.
Look, if you get back on Tinder and it doesn't work out with them, just be like, yo, I got this friend. He's just looking for friends. Take him to play volleyball. My friends don't do this.
Why didn't these guys get a second date though? They all wanted to.
Yeah, because that was the general.
Didn't I just say
consensus.
this?
Right, and that's not. It's not like I wasn't expecting that, but
Okay,
you
I
know.
don't want to be their friends anymore.
It's not like
But
it's
you
not like
knew
I
that.
wasn't expecting. I somehow figured, but I
Right.
just wasn't interested in anyone. So
So why does a woman go on Tinder knowing that that's what guys are on there looking for?
because maybe I want it too if it's the right person, but the vibe wasn't on. So
Wait, do you have a preference? Younger age? Anything? Like you have a preference when it comes to men on Tinder or not really?
it's funny because I only stayed on for a week. The men on Tinder that were older that I feel like I would have preferred were all posting pictures from 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And then so in real life, in real life, it turned out being, kind of like one of those moments where I was like,
Wait, so
okay.
when you met them, they didn't look like.
No. And I didn't filter any of my pictures on Tinder. They were all completely raw pictures because, this is what you're going to get,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't put filters on my pictures actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He just puts his glasses on and
Thank
takes
you.
them off.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's all I do. I'm like, Clark Kent, not Clark Kent. Clark Kent, not
Right.
Clark Kent.
Well, okay, but see, sometimes that can be, deceptive as well.
Really?
Yeah, as far as telling age of, like a man, like with a woman, you can sort of look at her skin and her neck, and you can kind of tell, like, okay,
Uh-huh.
she's around this age, within
Mhm.
5 year.
What did that one guy do different than the other guys that got him his second date?
Oh, I was 5 minutes late. He ordered my food, had wine sitting on the table, and as soon as I sat down, my food was delivered, and he.
Oh, that's hot.
That's
We love
perfect.
that.
Yeah.
Well, what if
that
he
was
got the
amazing.
order wrong? What if you wanted something else?
Well, he didn't. So he was
Yeah, that's
he was
some-
spot on. He was lucky.
That's nice.
Wow. Wait, so as in right now, let's just change the topic for 2 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
what in your life that would you want to improve, or you want it to change, or what's your goal?
So my goal is to transition more into philanthropic work as opposed to working for money right now.
Mhm.
I would really love the opportunity to be able to open some type of rehab healing facility here on the
Mhm.
beach, because God knows everyone on the beach needs it, right? Rehab, healing. I mean, everybody's got it. The topic of the day is trauma.
Mhm.
Everybody's going through something, been through something, trying to get through something, and there's no real place here besides a yoga studio or, a Reiki healer every 10 miles. And then you have to ask for references. There's no real place where you can go to. And churches just are missing the mark,
Mm, yeah.
We
No,
just
it
talked
used to
about
be the
it.
place. It used to be the place you could go to if you wanted to get right, get spiritual. You find your temple, synagogue, church, whatever. But they're all missing the mark these days.
Mhm.
So a nice, ambiguous healing center where you can go and,
So
center
this
yourself.
is all work. So the work is the only thing that you want to improve on in your life, and you want it to change within the next 5 years, I'd say.
Well, it's something that I want to transition into, and that would be transitioning also my lifestyle, because
Mhm.
if I'm not making, the money that it takes to live my lifestyle, I'm going to have to maybe, alter a few things about myself.
Like what? What do you mean when you say that?
Oh, just lifestyle choices, the way you live, how the ease of spending money on
Mhm.
certain things, where before I wouldn't think about it. Now, transitioning, I might have to,
Right.
I might have to give up certain things that I, enjoy in life to, focus more on something else. And
You seem
that's
like
an attitude change.
you seem like someone who's very well kept together for your age, because I say a lot of girls out there, women, girls, they're deteriorating before it's even their time. It's kind of crazy, but I noticed that you're not in a rush for a relationship at all. You're focusing on your goal.
Mhm.
You're not in a rush at all for a relationship either.
No,
That's-
but I've been married and divorced, and my daughters are graduating, high
Of
school
course.
soon. So yeah.
Yeah. So no
It's
more
not about the
relationship.
relationship. Oh, I could if it came along, but that's not the idea. I mean, I've always had a purpose and a passion, and I've always had something that I wanted to do. And the times that I have gotten into relationships get in the way of your purpose.
Mhm.
And so if there's not a relationship that helps to build your purpose and extend it and quantify everything that you're doing,
Which is hard to find, by the way.
Yeah.
right, it's hard to find, but don't look for it. Just keep on your keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy what you do, enjoy what you love.
So would you
You
guys
know?
want to date someone within the same work field as you, or someone that's completely different?
Probably different.
Different?
Yeah,
So
different.
how would that work out?
So I was married to someone that I eventually worked with, and we owned a company together, and we spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week together, and it was
Oh,
hell.
shit.
It was awful.
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
terrible.
That sounds
That sounds
terrible.
like COVID.
We had nothing to talk about.
Yeah, to spend that much time together, that's a no-go.
Yeah.
I personally, like, me and my boyfriend, we have spaces in between with each other.
Yeah.
We work, and it just kind of works out. I think the long distance thing kind of worked out for us temporarily. I think long term that'd be a little crazy, but we learn to love each other more and find the foundation of things we actually enjoy about each other, and we actually get excited to see each other,
Exactly.
which tells me that
Space is healthy.
space is healthy.
100%.
And I think that if this didn't happen for me, I think long term, one of us would have gotten bored, which is unfortunate. But I think like people being in relationships, they get a little complacent, and you don't realize that maybe there are self improvements for both ends. And like it kind of worked out for me. So as far as the divorce, you said that you're just kind of just letting things happen at this point. If you find somebody, great. If not, no big deal.
Right. And again, I have 2 daughters in high school, one that's graduating this year and one that has 3 more years.
Mhm.
And, you have to be realistic at some point when you're a parent. Get the ultimate, my priority goal right now is to make sure that they become amazing human beings and they get through life and, set up on their own. And when that happens, then I can focus on maybe trying to find somebody if I get lonely.
This is the craziest thing about parents. I've actually we talked about this the other day, where I think it's such a struggle for parents, because a lot of kids nowadays don't realize like the pause that parents have to put their life on to raise kids and hope to God that you still look young, decent, or enough for the world to still want you if you haven't found somebody by the time they're done growing up. By the time, a lot of people struggle with that. You look good for age, and based on your Instagram, you're very flexible, so you're winning. You're winning.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't put my life on pause.
Right.
I don't put my life on pause. So my point of view as far as for being a parent and being a mother is, when you bring a child into this world, you bring a mini me into the world, not a mini whoso or whatever, or this president or that celebrity. You bring a mini you into the world. So they join your world. I took my kids to work with me. I take them to work with me. They know and they understand every sacrifice that I have to make to get them to, the things that they like to do. And, my daughter's hobbies are not inexpensive, right? But it's a welcome expense because I'm preparing them for what they want to do, right? So at that same time where they understand every sacrifice, they also understand that I need my own space to be me, because if they want happy me, I need alone time.
How old are your kids?
17 and 15.
They probably understand that now, but like most kids don't understand that.
If you raise them from the beginning with the proper expectations of how things are going to work, they do.
But did that take a toll on your relationship, your divorce, your previous relationship? Being so like, because you said you never let yourself go. You also did a pretty good job of raising your kids.
Right.
But sometimes that usually takes the balance, kind of throws off on like the relationship, the intimacy and all that stuff.
No, absolutely not.
No?
There was no toll on intimacy or anything like that. The issues that were in my marriage had absolutely nothing to do with the children. I mean, intimacy was always great. It was never a problem. As far as that goes, it just came down to fundamental issues.
Did you guys get together while you were younger? Like
exactly.
So things shifted as you got older.
Yeah,
and
100%. Yeah.
Oh.
And it happens,
I have a question for you.
Sure.
You said you wanted to open something up to tackle mental health, right?
Yes.
Okay. Since we were talking about the topic was trauma, right? So why do you think that people wait so long and sometimes people never actually even tackle their trauma?
Because they don't think they have it. They don't really believe they have it. There's a lot of people walking around with the most disgusting views and,
would you say
points
that
of view in life, and
right.
and they come from trauma, but they don't want to say it because it's so hard to look in the mirror and say, I'm the one that's fucked up.
Okay, so accountability, right?
Absolutely.
But you said some people don't know that they have trauma.
Yeah.
But I would say that everyone knows they have trauma, because I would say everyone feels depressed at some point.
Okay, but they don't understand how their depression affects them physiologically, socially, spiritually, and all of that, it encompasses who you are as a person. So yeah, you can feel sad, but do you understand that your sadness affects the room when you walk into it, and everyone else that's in the room is affected by that?
Do you think it's because nowadays everyone's so clouded by social media and things that just fill the void instead of just being by yourself? Because I know a lot of people nowadays where they just rather occupy themselves with being with somebody they don't really like, but then rather than being by themselves, or occupying being on TikTok as opposed to just maybe meditating, or maybe, go to the gym, self-improvement, things that could actually make you look in the mirror and say, you know what, I should do better in this.
So yes, because the thing is, when you're by yourself, you have to look at yourself.
Yeah, that's scary.
And sometimes it's ugly.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't mind looking at myself.
Well, yeah, you're not the average person though, right? But she's right. Like, I used to struggle with that. Looking at myself, I used to be ashamed of everything, and like some of the stuff I went through that was even out of my control. And yeah, so that's why I asked, why you think people take so long, because I see people on the street all the time too. I feel like people that are homeless, and even people that are like, when you go to a red light, you see people begging for money.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, this guy at some point could have changed his life too. Like, he made decisions to get here, right? And even to this day, I see people that are capable of working a regular job that are still out there begging for money. So, I think everyone deals with trauma differently. But yeah, and me personally, I still have some ghosts I still haven't even tackled. So
I think a lot of people do. How do you I mean, your journey, I think like with any success, you're still working on your success, but the journey itself creates a lot of trauma and things that you dealt with. Has there been anything that you walked in naively as far as business and it changed your entire perspective and you feel like you haven't coped with it as far as business, people, interaction wise?
Like doing business with people.
So with me, when I walking here, dealing with them, it's a sense of business. They're like my family, they're my friends. And I walked in very naively thinking like everyone's gonna think the way I think. And I projected a lot of what I was used to back home here onto them. And that's where we bumped heads. And I kind of fell into like a slight, I don't even know the word. I hate using the word depression because I feel like there are people that are actually depressed out there, and I don't think it's fair that I get to use it because I didn't like how something feels. But there was a week where I think I fucked up. Like I was like, what am I doing here? Like I don't know what I'm doing. These are 3 guys. I'm a girl. And it changed everything when I sat there and just learned how to communicate with each person and kind of not force what I thought was right onto them. And from there on forward, I realized like everyone is different. Like we can say that broadly, but it changed how I chose to do business with each person. And then from there on forward, I don't want to project what I believe onto other people. And also I don't want to judge you in a sense where if you're doing business shady, I'm not going to judge you, but I'm also going to figure out why you're doing it this way. What have you dealt with that has drastically changed your views working in Miami?
So many things.
First one then.
All right, when I first time I ever came to Miami, I had no experience with rapping, so I had to go to a shop and be like, "Hey, I have 0 skills. Can I work for you?" And one shop was like, "Yeah." So I was getting paid like $13 an hour.
Okay.
Like trash, horrible. Learned how to do it, and that's actually the shop that like got me pretty far. Not because of any connections from them, but they helped start my career with what I do now, which is amazing. But I also despise that shop because I worked for them and did a ton of work for them. And then I did a lot of work after the fact. And I did it for so long that I was making more money after a certain point, but then they weren't paying me. So they ended up owing me a whole bunch of money.
Oh.
So business wise, sometimes I don't think if we're referring to depression, I don't think I've ever got depressed because of anything business wise. I've been upset over things. I've been very frustrated over stuff for sure. Tried taking apart any sort of Lamborghini. Okay. It sucks. All right. It sucks.
Well, what about outside of work? So I don't think people typically get depressed from anything from work. I think it's always personal, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We'll skip you. We'll come back.
No. I know what I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah. I think 90, at least 90%, and I'm just throwing a number out there. 90% of the times that I've felt bad or shitty in Miami have been because of dating women. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Wow.
The only times.
Wow.
Everything else, I'm a pretty jolly guy. Like
Yeah.
I'm out there
90%.
punching the air in the morning,
Right.
maybe listening to a little Elvis Crespo.
Yeah.
I'm going.
So Miami must be a really hard place to turn a good guy like you into
I'm not gonna be I'm not my villain phase isn't here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not.
yeah.
ready-
So
not
how
ready
would
for
you
that yet.
describe yourself when it comes to dealing with women? Because you said that most of the encounters you've had is if you had an inkling of depression, it was with dating and with women. So what is your view on dating women in Miami or in general right now?
I don't go and look for it. If it happens or I meet somebody or someone even if someone just reaches out like, oh, can we be friends, blah, blah, blah. And so it blossoms into something. I have 0 expectations with anybody.
So your guard isn't up, but it isn't down. It's just like whatever you bring to the table.
Yeah. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not looking.
But if you do it multiple times, will that affect you emotionally over time? Let's say like 10 girls in a row just keeps coming and they just like, they just keep, oh, buy me this, buy me that. Take it.
And then maybe at that point I have to look and be like, oh, maybe it's me.
Oh, okay. Accountability. This is nice.
Yeah, but it's easier for guys to be accountable than it is for women.
In some circumstances, yeah. I think mostly men are the least accountable.
What?
Like emotionally.
Emotional? Can you explain?
Emotionally, I understand what he's saying in that sense, but you should probably explain what you mean when you say that.
No, I mean like we don't tend to actually tell it like it is. We don't tend to
Express
tell
it
people.
We-
We don't express our feelings
You mean towards women, like towards a girl
in general.
in general.
in general? Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, we're going.
I don't
back
know if
to-
I like a girl, she's gonna know it.
Yeah. Oh,
You
well,
know,
yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with that because society doesn't really make it easy for men to express themselves.
Do you feel that way or no?
I think yes for a lot of men, but not for me because
So you
I'm-
could tell her how you feel right now
about what? Yeah.
about anything,
yeah.
and you just met her.
So no,
Yeah, man.
that's
It's like,
that's the
hit-
problem.
No. The problem is that a woman can socially open up to a guy and literally cry. Like I could just meet her. She can cry to me right now, and I'd be like, "Oh man, yeah, that sucks."
I honestly feel like she's pretty. I believe that you are kind and compassionate, and if I was just to start crying, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" But you'd also be like, "Oh, are you okay? Can I help you?" You know, I don't feel like you'd be like, "What the fuck?" You know?
Right.
Right.
But I also
Okay, maybe
but I
not.
also wouldn't- no, you're
I'm not
correct.
crying around you anytime soon.
No,
She
you're
proved my
correct.
point.
No, you're
No, she
correct.
proved
You're
my
correct.
point.
You're correct. I would
She'd be
I would
like,
absolutely, lend an ear.
Yeah.
You know?
And then
Right,
she'd
but
be like, "You're weird."
However, no, that's not true. However, I would not cry to you.
You wouldn't cry to me,
No,
What?
but
What?
you'd cry to him.
I would not cry to him.
Wait,
Okay, so you wouldn't cry to.
I have a hard time crying to myself.
Okay.
why?
Yeah, I haven't cried in a while either. I'm not
I have a
gonna
hard
lie.
time crying to myself.
Why?
Stubbed my toe the other day.
So what do you
Well, it
mean by
has-
that though? So
Well, it just has to do with the way I grew up and where I grew up and how I grew up. You hide your feelings, you cry inside like a winner. Nobody's going to take care of your problems but you. You're going to be the one to fix things. And, if you cry to someone, you're showing weakness. And that was a very sort of masculine standpoint that I got. I grew up also with a single mother, and she had to kind of like
Oh.
mask everything that,
That
she
explains
was
it all.
going through. So it is hard for me to show emotion. I
But
think
do you feel like that's affecting dating? Because I mean, I myself, I left home at 14. So for me, I've been shouldering the whole masking. I want to be strong. I have to be
Yes.
independent. And that affected my earlier dating when I was younger
Mhm.
because I felt like I had to wear the pants. And anyone that I dated,
Right.
I took the responsibility from them because I was worried that it wouldn't come out the way that I wanted to be.
correct.
And then within time, like I learned the power in being vulnerable with someone that you love. That's why I don't engage into hookup culture, because
correct.
if you show vulnerability to someone you love, you're showing them that, wow, like this is exclusive just for you. And people generally want that. They're just too scared to show it because of what they've been through. I would have to say, like, consistently back to back.
Can I
Right.
add something?
Yeah,
I hate the hookup culture as well.
I love that. Thank you for saying that.
you're
I-
like the
Your
one guy.
Tinder just went lighting up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. One moment. We'll be back for after a brief intermission. I'm just kidding.
But yes, it in the same way it did affect me. So especially after the divorce, because I was married young after I was divorced, I had these hopes and expectations of falling in love, but then I hadn't realized all of these behaviors and that I had created.
How
in
young were you
myself.
when you got married?
17.
Oh,
God,
Oh, that's way too
Damn.
early.
Mhm.
I
No
feel like
wonder.
anyone that gets married at that age is gonna get divorced.
Well, see, but I again left home when I was 15.
Uh-huh.
I was running my own life. I thought I knew what was good. I didn't need anybody's advice. I knew how to, handle my business, and which I did. I
You
was
said
able
you
to-
were raised by a single mother.
Yes, and
You think if you had a dad, he would have let you run away?
well, I didn't run away. I
Well, left the house.
freely left home.
Yeah, but I don't think a dad would just let his 15-year-old daughter leave the house.
I don't know.
I would never let my 15-year-old daughter leave the house.
Wait, so you had a battleship with your mom? That's why you left?
No,
So
no. So it was more my mother couldn't take care of me.
But-
Right.
She had I was one of 6 kids. So it just became, evident to me that my life was going to be better off if I took control of
Mhm.
my own self and took the reins in my hands and said, okay, I'm in control of my future. I'm going to take care of myself, and that's it.
That's pretty admirable for your age at the time.
Yeah, but you leaving
Right, but I lacked the emotional,
Yeah,
maturity
go.
for it. Oh, I was extremely intelligent.
and it
I was
made you
in Model
vulnerable.
UN. I did it. I was extremely vulnerable.
Yep, and it made you
So-
vulnerable because then you go into a relationship where you feel like this guy's your everything now, right?
Right.
And then now you're married to him.
Mm-hmm.
You're young,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't again,
He was young, but not so young.
right, but
Mm-hmm.
you're young.
Right.
You're not mentally there all the way yet.
Correct.
And then when you marry him, you're like, holy shit, I got married young. And then that's when everything pops in, when you're like, yo, I didn't even get to enjoy my youth. Really? Right?
So it wasn't so much about enjoying youth as it was understanding who I was as a person and what my fundamental beliefs were. Once I realized that a lot of the issues that we were having and the fighting and all of that didn't feel right because fundamentally we just weren't meeting.
Mm-hmm.
How long did that take?
Oh, I knew within the first year.
What would you say to young ladies in your position right now that are 15, 17 years old and they don't have a father and they have a single mother who probably is having a hard time making the bills, and she's also trying to live her life while taking care of kids? What would you say to any young lady? If you could say something to yourself back then, what would you say to them?
Right. Take any opportunity that is presented to you that has nothing to do with a man. So there were several opportunities that were presented to me to where I could use my intelligence, where I could further my education immediately. And I did eventually.
Mhm.
You know, I graduated college. But in the back of my mind, I had this sort of like drive or pull to want to take care of people, because if you grow up with a single mom, you want to make sure she's okay. You want to try to take care of her. You want to try to take care of your brothers and sisters. And so I felt like if I wasn't taking care of someone, there was an incomplete part of me. But what I never learned from my mom was, because she never did for herself, was to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that's what I learned as I was married is, oh, great, I can take care of myself, because, you know, we were both, you know, sharing bills. He took the, you know, brunt of all of that, especially when I was in school. And it was great. But then we just had these little, you know, hangups on how to raise the kids, how to spend money, how to save money, how, you know, all kinds of stuff. And we just didn't agree fundamentally on certain things. Fundamentally on certain things, I don't believe in you can tell a white lie every single day, because you tell 10 white lies, it's a big white lie. And pretty soon it's going to turn gray, and then it's going to turn black. And then you're just a fucking liar.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm.
You have to lie every day.
So wait, you're saying that he was lying every day? Like,
yeah,
so-
but just small stuff.
Did you
little
ever
stuff.
lie?
Eventually, yes.
But
Eventually, yes. To cope with the relationships, to you know, to make ease of, you know, of the relationship, and to fit in and to not fight. You know, I adapted very bad behaviors that I had to train myself out of
Mhm.
just to be able to survive in that relationship without fighting every day.
Would it be fair to say that the reason why he gave you these, because what's a white lie to you? Like a small lie, right?
Oh, a small lie. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't make it on time. My tire got flat, and, you know, I had to fix it, so I'm going to be an hour late.
Okay.
But what
No flat
actually
tire.
happened?
But, well, what actually happened, God knows what happened, but the tire was never flat,
Right.
you know?
But what if
It
he,
was, you know, just him fucking around being late, you know?
okay, what if he felt so comfortable enough with you where he didn't have to lie?
Right.
And that's the problem. I always tell people, like,
Mm-hmm.
men lie because women can't handle it. So like if he was able to be honest with you, and he knew you weren't gonna nag about it,
Mm-hmm.
he probably would just be like, look, babe, I stopped to eat McDonald's. And
Of course. So then that goes to say that he should be with someone that he's comfortable with.
or you could have made him comfortable.
Oh, I made him very comfortable.
Because if you're in a relationship with someone, it is your job to try to make your partner comfortable, right? For both parties, of course.
Okay, yes. But you also have to be on the same sociological and, you know, intelligence level as your partner,
Mhm.
especially emotionally. And we did not share the same level of emotional intelligence. So that's why there was discomfort between the two of us.
Yeah, emotional. It's hard for guys emotionally. So
Not particularly. Men that are raised in good families.
My parents are pastors.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah. So what do you
I'm
mean,
dead
what do you
ass.
mean when you say that raised in good families? It's pretty broad to say that.
So a stable family, I say, you know, one
Oh,
where the parents
It
are
was. It
happily
wasn't
married.
stable.
Okay, so parents that are happily married, or at least, you know, present some sort of stability, you know, economically, socially,
But do you think that you
with their
set this
kids.
like standard or in your mind, like you wanted him to know more than what he like? 'Cause I don't think anyone's supposed to know everything 100%. So even if someone that was raised correctly, you could be having one thing, two things, we could be missing 5 other things.
Right. But then when there's a dialogue about it
Uh-huh.
and we have a conversation about it and you sit there and say that you agree with your partner about a particular thing,
Mhm.
yet all the while in the back of your mind, you have no fucking clue what they're really talking about.
Mhm.
You're just agreeing to get the conversation over with.
Because you feel that's fear.
You're
sometimes?
robbing.
Like fear of not wanting to tell someone the truth. Like
No, that's losing interest.
losing interest and fear, like that also, like to me, if somebody doesn't want to tell you the truth, it's 2 things: lost
Mhm.
interest of I don't really care how you feel, or 2, I'm scared that you might blow up and let me just agree to agree. I'm
Mhm.
not even going to comprehend this right now because I'm already here. You guys married pretty young.
Right.
Do you feel like that's where it got to in that point in that relationship?
I think before it got to that, I lost interest first because the lies didn't necessarily bother me until I started seeing them in everyday life.
So the lies is what turned you off, not the relationship itself.
Yeah, the general lack of integrity.
Hmm.
Yeah, for me. Yeah, because it wasn't just me that it was getting lied to.
Was it like that from the
Business
beginning?
partners. Yes, but I didn't realize it until later.
See, this is so we talk about this a lot, and again, I want to make it clear this podcast mostly is for the majority. I know there's people
Sure.
that beat the minorities to statistics, and not everyone is this way, but for the most part, I've noticed that with women, especially more nowadays, and I don't mean this in any type of way, we fall into a situation where you have to be. For example, you were young, you left, you were vulnerable, you had to be in a relationship with somebody, so you ignore all the red flags because
I didn't have to be.
So why did you choose to be?
I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought it was right. I thought it was love. I didn't have to be.
When I say have to, like
Mhm.
I could be wrong. I left home early, so I'm not going to project it. But for me, any relationship I was ever in, I had to be in it. I didn't have a choice because
Okay.
I was off of survival. I was just kind of like, all right, this is the most person that's gonna love me. I don't have dad, I don't have mom. Feel safe, feel security. So I had to be in this relationship because this person made me feel safe. I didn't trust myself young out there in the streets, barely legal. Nobody wanted to take me in. So for me, it's having to recognize like, this is the best it gets for now. And as I got older, I was like, oh wow, we're not compatible at all. I have to, find someone within my means. So that's what I mean when I say that. I wouldn't say like you had to marry him,
Mhm.
but did you anywhere near feel that, or you literally know like this feels like love, I'm gonna pick him? Were you missing something at home in that sense that made you look for that, or no?
If you dig down deep and look at my traumas, yes, things that I didn't understand that I needed
Mhm.
and that I missed, sure.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, no, I didn't think, okay, this is a means to an end
Mhm.
when I got married.
I don't think we ever jump into it thinking that, but I think like just mentally we do these things without thinking about it because we're pretty young. I didn't really think that far when I was young. It was like 2 steps ahead, whatever made my moment better at that time being.
No, I wasn't there. No, it was more beneficial for the both of us because I worked, he worked, we made a good team together. It just felt like it made sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's different. I never thought of it that way. I think you're okay. We need more liquids for him.
I'm fine. I'm just tearing up over here.
Now-
Ricola.
we need more liquids for him, guys.
Would you say that not having a father drastically changed the way that your life turned out?
I can't say, because I will say that I did. My mother did do a good job at reaching out to religious facilities wherever she could, and I always had some sort of male father figure,
Mhm.
and I was heavy on relying on Christ and understanding that there was a God that created me and loved me.
Are you religious now?
No.
Okay.
But that has more to do with my mom using religion as an excuse to not be the best parent that she could be. And without holding grudges against my mom, which I did for a really long time, without holding resentment, there are a lot of parents that use religion to, to cover up the fact that they didn't try their hardest. They just put it all on, God and prayer, and we'll just pray about it, and God will fix everything.
Do you hold any resentment to your parents at all? You've healed past that?
I've healed past my mom. My dad, I don't hold resentment for because he was gone by the time I was 7.
Mhm.
And it was very evident to me when I spoke to him as an adult that he was mentally not even
Oh,
capable of
okay.
being there for me.
Mhm.
So, there's not much you can do once you realize that someone couldn't have been there for you anyway.
Yeah.
You thank God that they
Mhm.
weren't there, because it probably would have been worse.
Mhm.
Right. But as far as, do I think I would have grown up better? No, there was always a male figure in my life, and it was typically via the church, the Protestant or Catholic church. There was always somebody there as a mentor, or a choir director or leader or whatever, in a non-creepy way.
Mhm.
I have to emphasize that I never had anybody be creepy with me. I never had a bad experience with anybody. No, I didn't. And so, there was always somebody there with a male perspective. I also had an older brother that was 6 years older than me, and he was very, very mature, and he was acted a lot like a father.
Mhm.
So if anybody's life was less than what it should have been, it was his.
Yeah.
Those brothers. You said your parents were pastors.
Pastors.
Both of them.
How was that?
Well, okay, so I'm adopted. I was adopted when I was 5. I have a twin sister. We both got adopted to the same
Together.
family. Yeah. And my stepdad, growing up, I lived with my stepdad and my adopted mom, which is my mom. But one was the missions pastor at a church, and the other one was the director of children's ministries.
Wow.
Yeah,
They usually say pastors' kids are the worst.
Yeah. Have you heard that?
many times.
Manny said, do you live up to that standard?
Absolutely.
How?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Was that Christianity, I'm assuming? Pastor?
Yeah, just non-denominational church.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Full blown rebel here with the tats, but I mean, go in.
Yeah, I got a couple.
This guy's completely tatted, guys.
Yeah,
He
he
has-
is.
I don't have that many.
No,
I only have 74. That's not that much.
not
Yeah.
that many.
Just started blowing out my leg. Let's see. I mean, I've been to jail.
Been to jail.
Yeah.
For what?
Nothing.
Oh Lord, this guy.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Mom, if you're watching, he loves you.
Yeah, no, my mom is amazing. The most gorgeous, most amazing, beautiful woman ever. I'm gonna send her this later.
Love that.
I'm gonna be like, Mom, I shouted you out. I mean, yeah, I've pretty much done everything.
Okay, so
Besides a whole bunch of drugs, I've actually never done drugs. Like legit.
are you being serious right now?
Super. Thank you.
Super serious.
One moment.
It's funny that we're all talking about religion here, and I feel like a lot of people hide behind religion, right? Like a lot, like my mother. Shit, this is crazy, but my mother hid behind religion, and my mother's actually the reason why I don't even believe in God, because I was like, yo, if that's what a Christian is, I don't want to be nothing like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Do you feel like you've healed from that?
hell no.
You need to heal from that. We need
Hell no.
open that facility now and get
Nah,
Eric in there.
I'm good.
And do a
I'm
whole
good.
exorcism on
No,
him.
I actually feel like, people, it's like we talked about this in the last episode where I was like, if I was to go into any religion, it'd probably be Islam. But yeah, I saw all these, and Christians are the ones that are supposed to be like the most stand-up people, and ironically, I feel like most of them are hypocrites. So
I think that growing up in the church with how I did, church like Monday, Wednesday, Sunday,
Right.
all these different events, plus my schoolwork, sports, like all the stuff that I did, I think I had a different view on it than the kids that were going to church that went to the same school as me. They were going because their parents were making them. They
Mhm.
didn't really care about it. It's super hard, but I personally believe between the ages of whatever and 18, 19, 20, it's going to be super hard to have that type of spiritual connection with anything or anyone. So growing up, it was different. And I think that the younger you are, you can't really be as religiously or spiritually mature.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So what
So you would have a bad view, you know what I mean? Like especially when you're
Right.
younger.
But what you might be missing out on is what you gained from being in the church at that young age was some semblance of a moral compass that people that are growing up these days absolutely don't have.
Yeah.
There's one thing I've done ever since I was honestly in high school, probably 13, 14, and that's read a proverb every day. You don't have to be any religion
Every
or
day?
believe in any God. Yeah, there's 31 of them, right? So every day, you just wake up in the morning, you read it, read one every day. It became a habit, right? I'm also a morning person. I've always, even since high school, woken up, between 5 and 6 in the morning, sometimes earlier, right? So when you do that and you constantly feed your mind with things that are morally sound, you begin to have a different perspective as far as like, okay, yeah, like I said, white lies, not good.
Yeah.
They're not good because when you take on one small thing that's not good, the only thing you can do is grow bigger and grow bigger and grow bigger, until you're overcome by it. And then what? You're not a white lie every other day. You're just a liar, And so that's the thing that I think a lot of people miss when they tend to, degrade religion as a whole, is the fact that religion actually gives you a pretty decent moral compass just to start by. Just start by,
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just aren't good people these days.
I would say it's a set foundation, and what you do from there is really up to your morale as a
Correct.
person itself. So I agree with that. I think people do take it too far left and right with a lot of things. So I agree with that. I'm reading some of the comments here, and somebody's saying that it seems like you have an excuse for everything that we bring up. How do you feel about that comment? As what they're basically saying is that you don't take accountability for what the accusations or what it seems like is going on in your life. I'm just going off the comment. That was
Who, me?
No,
Her.
Ariel.
I'm gonna need a specific on that. An excuse for everything.
Yeah. Basically, it seems that they're saying, I'm just gonna go ahead and just be blunt. It seems like if we say, is this the reason why you're this way? Or, hey, the reason why he's giving white lie, it seems like you don't believe it. So you have a very strong masking feeling over everything. Like there's no changing your mind. Do you feel like that's true or no? Like it's impossible to change your mind?
Well, I think there's a difference between having a reason for something and then just understanding yourself and being grounded and knowing what your beliefs are. And so,
but do you think sometimes your beliefs could be what you believe and it may not be reality, or just that's just how you feel?
Absolutely. Sometimes what we believe is not complete reality, but that's why you dialogue. You dialogue with someone, you let me know your point of view. I tell you, well, this is how I feel, right? And then we come to some general consensus, because you're not 100% right because you see world through your eyes. I'm not 100% right because I see it through my eyes and everything I've been through. But that's the point of dialogues like this, where we all get to, share more or less where we come from, our corner of the world. And then, there's a consensus as to what, the actual reality might be. It's like the saying, there's, 3 truths, your truth, my truth, and the actual truth, So.
Okay. So we've discussed that you have a hard time displaying emotions, is what you said? Or being vulnerable?
I have in the past. I'm better at it now.
Better now. So what did you do that made you finally tap into that?
I read a book.
A book?
Tell us the book.
How did a book just turn the switch on and off? I don't believe this.
I have no idea. It was the first book that I'd ever been able to read. It's called The Body Keeps the Score.
Okay.
Right. And so it basically
don't laugh at the
it better. Yeah, no, it's true.
I was gonna guess Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but
The body keeps
I guess I
the
might
score.
have been.
The Body Keeps the Score. But it
That
was
is funny.
it was the first doctor that had ever been able to, speak eloquently on how physiologically everything that you're going through psychologically affects you.
Okay.
Right. And I have a lot of anxiety issues. I just thought I was, a go-getter person.
So what if you were dating someone and they told you what that book told you? Would you believe them, or did it have to come from a book?
I consider everything everyone tells me.
You do?
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, most people don't. I'm asking just a general question. I feel like most people have a hard time listening to like if you have a bad relationship with men, for example, or a bad relationship with women, if somebody says something, you're not going to listen to them because you already have this guard up of like, I don't trust you, XYZ, heard this before, you're saying it condescending. And I think that sometimes people listen to the tone and not the message, and they tend to just tune out. And like being who I am now, especially working with guys, I've learned how to cipher through the crazy shit they say to me. And I'm like, I know that's not what the fuck you meant. I'm going to take that. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to talk later on how you should say it next time because I didn't like how you worded that.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people don't give that compassion to other people because we're so fixated on our emotions being more valuable than the person we love.
Yes. And there's also asking questions, because you can say something beautifully and with the right intentions, but if I don't understand where you're coming from, and maybe you used a word I didn't understand. Okay, so what do you mean by that?
Mhm.
You know, just like this particular comment, what did they mean?
Mhm.
I believe that you were able to expand on that, and so that helped me to see,
Right.
yeah, I'm being vague because we only have how many, how much time.
Of
You
course.
want a book? Sure, I'll write a book.
Yeah.
You want to do Q&A? Come on, I'll do a live on my Instagram. We'll do a direct Q&A.
Can I
But-
be your manager?
Please, yes.
I got you.
All right. So we discussed what you
Yeah.
a book healed for you.
Yeah, it was a book because I'm a very logical person, and I see things from a very there's a lot of gray in the world, but there's also a lot of black and white. And so the book really helped me to understand that a lot of behaviors that I had were stemming from issues that I've been through that I thought I had healed from, but I really hadn't.
Okay.
Just like anxiety. A lot of people have anxiety and they think, oh, I'm just a go-getter. I just like to be up. I like to get a lot of things done in a day. No, you don't know how to chill.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
You don't know how to sit with yourself. You have so much anxiety. You see people like constantly tapping. It's like, what do you want? Nothing. I'm thinking about tomorrow and the next day and how I got to pay my bills. And it's like, relax.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I used to be like that.
I have ADHD. I'm pretty wild.
hmm
For me to sit here right now is very hard.
Yeah. Well, and so the book taps into that too. A lot of people that have ADHD, it stems from some type of-
ADHD.
stems from some type of rooted trauma somewhere.
So where do you feel like your rooted trauma sits at, Mr. ADHD?
My my rooted trauma.
Yes.
That is a really good question. My rooted trauma is probably, I don't know. I would say, and I've gotten over this for sure. But when I got arrested, my family pretty much, I don't think they intentionally did, but emotionally for sure shunned me completely. They were like, oh, and in my mind, I was thinking, oh, I'm horrible. I'm a disgrace to my family. Like I'm super upset about it. So it took some time to get over that, and actually get back on my feet, get motivated, and then bust booty.
Wait, your family, mom, dad, the people that you love
Yeah.
the most, you shouted out
Yeah,
just
yeah.
earlier. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So you've done some healing towards it. What did you do to heal yourself from that? Because a lot of people, I don't know if you
Can
guys are
I-
familiar with victim culture.
I can pretty much say anything except like bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's gonna sound shallow in a way, but I'm not. I was
This is
like, yo,
unfiltered.
stop being a fucking pussy. Like, dude, get the fuck up, get motivated, go work, make money, do something. Don't sit on your ass. Don't fucking cry. Do what you got to do. And I did, and then now we're here.
Wait, how long did you do that for? The sulking.
It took like 4 years, 3-4 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it sucked.
Wow. So what did you do in those 4 years that just made you feel like you were deteriorating, like you weren't contributing?
I mean, I did like nothing. Like I was just a shitty person. I don't think I treated people well. I was homeless a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
Like a whole bunch of shit happened. It was horrible.
Would you say that you being homeless, because I at one point in time I was there, I feel like that makes you work harder in life. So it's so many people that I know in life, like friends when I was growing up, they were so entitled. They had both parents, they had a good life, and they grew up to do nothing with their lives. They have no ambition.
But I don't think that necessarily has anything to do with like being homeless. But I will tell you that when I was homeless, I found something that I happen to be really good at, and then I monetized that, and then I was able to get my own place, get a car,
Mhm.
do everything that I needed to. And I think since that point, I've only been climbing.
Right. But there's a lot of homeless people that are still homeless, right? Like you go outside right now, you'll find someone eventually. So what I'm saying is like you can use that for good is what I'm saying. Right. So like all the bad stuff I went through, I was like, I'm gonna use this to motivate me, to push me forward. But you have people that don't do that.
But yeah, of course. But you got to think some people are going to have the will, some people aren't. Some people are set in ways. Some people just they've been doing it for years and they just don't care. It's going to be hard for them to get back up on their feet and want to care.
Yeah.
And they have to find that reason to do that. My reason was as I was young, it was fucking 20 degrees outside and I didn't want to sleep in a fucking shack anymore. I was done. I'm like, yo, I got to do something. I
Right.
did something and then I made it.
And you also probably realized nobody was coming to save you.
No,
You had to save yourself.
no.
Did you resent your family at that time? That feeling?
Honestly, no.
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 How did you feel when they shunned you?
I was upset for sure, but with what happened in the situation, my family had kind of called it, and they were like, "You need to be careful." And then I ended up getting in trouble. You know, they had basically warned me. They had said, "Hey, I wouldn't suggest doing this," and my family's never steered me wrong ever. And I didn't listen to them, and I fucked up. I got in trouble, and that's probably partially the reason why they decided, you know, you're gonna have to figure it out on your own for a little bit. And eventually, they came back, and everything was fine. My family's amazing. Shout out, Ma. I love you.
That's such a gamble. I think as a parent to have a kid or to adopt or just have a kid in general, to know that what they're doing is wrong, you don't agree with it, but how far can you steer them away from it without losing them completely? And I think that I see a lot of that. The gambling for parents is like they whether give their kid too much freedom and they go unhinged and just crazy, or they coddle them so much that the kid doesn't get to live. Where do you feel like your parents' meter was with that?
I'll tell you this. When I was in high school, it was either ROTC, soccer, cross country, track, church, and that's it. I didn't have a lot of friends. I had work friends. I mean, I had work friends. I had 2 jobs as well. Work friends, and I had school friends. I didn't do anything outside of that. When it came to my parents, I didn't go out to parties. I didn't have sex when I was in high school. I didn't smoke anything. I didn't drink. I didn't do shit. But I don't think I was necessarily sheltered.
Okay.
And I don't think that had anything. Well, I mean, it definitely had something. My first year in college was wild. Like it was crazy. Like I have some videos. Maybe I'll post them. But no, for real, like I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys.
So
Okay.
by choice, you chose not to, you know, live crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So,
It just didn't interest you.
I'll tell you this. I never want to be homeless again. And I definitely don't want to be broke again.
What was the craziest experience you had when you were homeless?
Oh man, this is gonna be exposing.
Yeah.
Not in like a bad way. It's kind of funny and a little gross.
Yeah, because I know like you're out there.
Do you want me to be serious, or
Yeah.
do you want me to tell you something actually funny? Like it's
No,
still,
just
it's definitely
serious.
but it's the craziest
Yeah.
experience. Okay, let me think then. Let me think. I don't know.
If it doesn't come up,
Going to the Salvation Army and getting a fucking hot plate of food.
That was the crazy.
that was the craziest thing for you.
I mean, like, yeah. How did it get to the point where I'm out here with people I've never met in my life before? They're all fighting for their lives.
How old were you? at
I
that
was
time?
19.
19. Wow, that's rough. Did you look in the mirror at one point? It was like, how did I get here? Did it just spit you in the face, or did it took 4 years, or were you just accepting that at the moment?
It wasn't like that for the full 4 years
Okay.
at all. It was the homelessness was very short lived.
Okay.
Like I said, in the beginning, no one really cared, so I didn't care. And then it took some time, and then I found something I was good at. But even through that time with making money, doing better and stuff like that, I wasn't happy because I wasn't over what had happened.
Mhm.
Do you think it's people's job to care about you, or is it your job to care about you?
No one has to care about you.
So what do you think that this expectation that people should care about us? Like, I think that's shouted out everywhere nowadays. Where does that stem from?
I think when you have any sort of feeling towards anyone, whether it be, you know, I know you
Mhm.
From before, you know, we're friends, so I care. You have to think like you're gonna care about everything, whether it's positive or negative.
Mhm.
So that's my answer.
What's the difference and what's the hang up? Because I think a lot of people do care, but they choose not to show the fact that they care because they feel like, no, I'd rather keep this for myself than give you something of me because I might not get it back.
Or they don't want to get hurt.
that how
Yeah,
you feel?
by not getting it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So people have to be okay with giving without expectation.
I don't think people do that because there's a sense of entitlement nowadays.
I think people do. I just think it's less common in Miami.
Was very less common. Do you feel like that's where you run into a lot?
With what? People in general?
Yeah.
I would say with certain people, yes.
Are you holding back the real answer? Because
Yeah, I feel like
No, I'm not holding back the real answer. I just think that I have, like, for example, I have different clients. I have regular people like us.
Mhm.
I have influencers. I have famous rappers. I have billionaires and stuff like that. It's going to be different between each set of type of individual. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So people my age, I'm going to act differently with them versus someone who is a multi-billionaire. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand. So at this point in your life, from being homeless and now interacting with, you said, billionaires and influence and all that.
Thanks.
Excuse me.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
How do you feel about yourself in your life right now? Like, are you happy? What's your goal?
Oh, I think the only thing that I care about when it comes to my job is not necessarily who the person is. It's more so giving them something that's quality, and something that they're going to be happy with and they're going to cherish, or be excited about. I more so prefer reactions.
But do you feel that comes at a toll for you? Like, if you
Does
keep
that make
giving?
sense? What happened?
No, I'm sorry. I'm reading these fucking chats. They're fucking funny.
Eric.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I can't see right now. So
You
No,
don't
no,
want to
no.
do that.
Because someone said I had ADD one time. Then my dad met me upside the head when I was a kid, and I got my attention back real quick. Oh
Eric.
my god. I'm sorry. I read that while you were talking, and just
no, that's that's funny.
well,
That's
no,
funny.
but let's be honest. That works. Like, if you hit your kid, most likely he's gonna understand. Like,
Bro, I was beat when I was a kid.
yeah,
For sure. That's probably why I'm a little weird now. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Wait,
I was-
so there was abuse in the family? Like,
No,
actual
not
beat?
abuse. It's just growing up, and that definitely depends on a lot of different things for
Uh-huh.
sure. But I grew up in a white family, so when I got in trouble, I got
Let's be honest.
beat the fuck up.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, it was
white
just
people, white
punishment.
people don't really hit.
Yeah, they. My mom beat the shit out of me. I still got fucking marks. I'm telling you, dude.
She's from Virginia.
What, like her hand?
No, well, they're all from New Jersey.
Oh, okay, I believe it then. If they're
I don't know about Jersey, unfortunately. I don't have any comment on that.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Wait, was the ass beating that necessary, or do you think that they?
Oh
could've
yeah,
warned you?
I was not the best kid.
So you were a full blown rebel.
For sure. I was the kid pouring salt on the slugs.
damn.
Hey, I'm gonna read this comment real
luck.
quick. KP says, the way the church, mosque, temple, and charity works is so important. We don't have God anymore. Back in the 90s, plenty of people cared. We have lost all that due to greed. The reason why this comment hits me is because I remember going to church and it all looked like it was for money.
No, it for sure is. It's a business.
Yeah.
And
But let's be honest, that's all it is. There's no such thing as God's in that building and he's gonna forgive your sins. It's all like, I saw churches pass the plate around 3 times in one service. Like, god damn, like you didn't get enough money the first 2 times, you have to pass it a third time.
I'll tell you this, with me growing up in the church, I had always thought, like, okay, as the church grows, as the audience grows, as more people come every Sunday, that means more money is probably being given in the offering every Sunday.
But that's all it is.
So where's that money going? Are my parents getting paid more? I really thought of this, like, yo, are they just like taking all the money? And of course they weren't. But growing up, I was like, where does it go? I mean, the amount of different things that they either donated to or went on missions trips, sponsored people, helped people get homes, did food drives. I think there's a lot of good in churches for sure. Now, I think there are definitely people that don't necessarily encompass what a true Christian is per se, but no one's ever going to be. You're never going to be perfect. You're not going to live up to that. It's impossible. But anyway, sorry, I get off.
Someone said,
I don't think so.
David Jones says, okay, I'm glad Angela asked him if he's holding back, but more pressure. Yeah, it looks like you are holding back. I think the chat.
Are you holding back, or you being strategic with what you say so you don't sound a certain way? Like,
I just don't want to say something stupid. I'm going to be honest.
And then Julia says something about this woman. I think someone has a crush on you. I could be wrong though.
Something about who?
Oh wait, it goes on. Okay.
Eric.
There's discipline in Christian households. Although no cap. I don't know. Do you guys think there's discipline in Christian households?
I mean,
I was disciplined
I was too.
You were Catholic though, right?
and Protestant.
Oh, I don't know.
So my mother was Catholic. My father was Jewish, German, and then he left. And then my mother transitioned from being Catholic to Protestant Church of God. So it was.
I feel like the Catholic Church is the least strict.
Yes.
They let you guys drink, smoke, dance.
Yes.
All you guys have to
But-
do is go to church the next day and be like,
absolved. But So my my mother
Sign me up.
transitioned right. My mother transitioned into Protestant church when I was very young. So I grew up mostly Protestant, and then went back and forth between Catholic because it just felt right with my grandmother and my aunts and my family. But yeah.
Someone said, "Yep, with the belts."
Oh,
Sorry, I'm just reading these chats.
Bro, one
right.
time
Spare the
No,
rod,
go
spoil
in.
the child.
One time what?
One time when I was younger, I got in trouble. Okay, don't remember what I did, but I did something, and I got put in a corner. Okay, so I had to go stand in a corner. But because I was always fiddling and doing this stuff with my hands, I had to put my hands up in the air like this. My stepdad forgot about me for 2.5 hours, and I'm like
Damn.
a kid, so I'm like, are they
There's
cameras?
no way you
Are they
kept your
gonna
hands
see?
up that long.
2.5 hours, bro. I was
As a
like,
kid?
when I put it down, I was like, yo, hey, get to the chopper now. No, like I was full Arnie, bro. I was huge. Yeah, I feel like an 8-year-old. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, that was just about the punishments. I got punished a lot.
I can't deal with it. The punishment is hilarious the way he said it. The hands up. You sound like you've been through a lot in the sense of like the way you grew up, your parents homeless and all that. You don't seem like it's affected you, or are you masking it with humor?
No, I've grown past it for sure.
How?
That's a great question. I'll let you know when I figure it out.
You haven't figured it out.
But
So
there was just one day where I realized I don't need to be upset about anything. I have a great life.
it's rare. Are you you're saying you're the 1 rare percent person that just like solved their own problem? Because this is victim culture nowadays.
No, I think I'm happy.
You're happy?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's because you've hit a peak in your life where you realize that your life is in your own hands and you're in control of it? Like what made you you can feel this way, but if the result doesn't match it, it's kind of hard to believe in it.
No, I think I just got to the point in my life where, as I said, I have these goals, and no matter what happens, I'm going to continue in my life, and there's going to be struggles, there's going to be pain, there's going to be stuff that's going to go on that I'm not going to necessarily like. There's going to be difficulties, challenges, but I'm happy.
You're happy. Do you think that having is it fair to say you feel like you have money now? Did that change a lot of things or no? Like your own financial status?
I think money is absolutely important for the necessities, but no more. I've gotten to the point where I feel like there are a lot of things I could definitely have with more money, but I have a lot of really nice things now, but I really don't have a want for much more.
At 27, that's a good state of mental health. I think a lot of people haven't gotten
Still broke
that.
though. So if you guys want my cash app.
I need a cash app.
You don't have a cash app? No.
Yeah, we're gonna throw up our
Do you
cash
use
app.
checks? What do you use?
So
Zelle.
Zell's
Okay.
great.
Zell's
so we
great.
have a comment here that says that was a really great response from the guy with the hat in regards to the church comment and how they manage their finances. Okay, I have a question for you. What type of car did your dad drive? Did he have like a newer car? I've seen pastors that have like the brand new AMGs, the
What?
Mercedes, and I'm like, hold up, bro.
No.
You're saying
Remember, it was younger. So my parents started a church. So with a few other couples, it was like 15 people. And then now I think they have over 5,000 or 6,000 people every Sunday. They're huge.
maybe
Okay. So in quick response to that, a lot of the pastors with excess have written books,
Mhm.
they have podcasts, they have series, they have merchandise, they have all of the stuff that they sell where they, draw revenue from.
they have
Yes, they also
mansions, they have the new cars, they have
okay.
That's
yes,
not
and
old.
a lot of that is sponsored from the church. So yes, with all of the good, and that was my response to what you were saying, with
They don't
all of
have-
the good that a lot of the church does, free backpacks. When I was a kid, I used to get free backpacks with school supplies every year.
Mhm.
Presents on Christmas, like my mom didn't have to supply any of that. We just, the church filled that need for us, right? However, there's a lot of excess. There's a huge church in Atlanta right off of 75. It was under construction, renovation on
Mhm.
the exterior for brick for over 3 years. How many millions of dollars did that cost? And
Mhm.
what could they have done for the community? What kind of homeless shelter or social services could they have done besides, remortaring the brick?
What about
on that
Joel Osteen's church where they found like $500,000 in the walls? Where'd that money come from?
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about that?
No,
mean,
I mean, it probably
are all
floated
these-
up under the flood or something.
Right,
Who
like
knows?
that-
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I may have read like 2 sentences in an article and then
Yeah.
realized this pertains nothing
And
to my
then,
life. Like this is
and
not
then that,
important.
those that's
Right.
that's the same church that during the hurricane down there they closed off. They didn't even want people to go into the church.
To go inside. Well, okay. So I see both sides
Think
of
about
that.
that for a second, though.
I do see both
You have the
sides of that.
community. This is a mega church. You have
Yes.
the community pouring into this church.
Right.
They make millions and
Yes.
millions of dollars.
Okay, yes.
And
But
then during a hurricane, they're like, "Oh no, you can't
okay,
come
so
here."
listen, a lot of the people that also go to his church live in the Houston area. They weren't able to go and help facilitate all of those people. So when you have refugees and people coming in from, you know, a natural disaster, you need facilities,
Mhm.
which is bathrooms, showers, toiletries. They weren't prepared for that.
Mhm.
They weren't prepared for that.
It would have
So
been a shit
So-
show.
so
No
just-
pun intended.
everybody would have been in there. People would have been complaining that they didn't have food, they
Mhm.
couldn't take a shower, they couldn't take a shit, they couldn't take care of themselves. They, you know, so I mean,
So
I
just
can't
lead them to fend for themselves.
I can't say.
Right.
You know, if you don't have the facilities, you don't have the facilities. Like I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, just because my house is above sea level on the beach, I'm going to take in everybody when we have a hurricane. I can't
That church has
facilitate that.
thousands of like members, though.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure they could have found
Someone could have
some
come?
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
Well, I
that's
guess we'll
some
never
mega
know.
church. They have
I guess
thousands
we'll
of
never know.
employees.
Maybe
guess we'll
next
never
time
know.
they'll be prepared.
Or maybe
Right, exactly.
or maybe they
next
just
Hopefully, God,
Right.
we don't want it next time.
Yeah.
by the way.
yeah, or maybe they just didn't want someone to find all that cash
Oh,
that was in the walls.
Well, or they didn't want to have to repaint and put new flooring in and do all the cleaning and spend all the money that it had, you know, that they would have to spend to house thousands of people for how many days.
you know, when I get home tonight, I'm gonna look up where Joel Osteen was when that hurricane hit. Was he in the
Probably-
Bahamas?
Probably in his mansion.
Where were
And
the
then-
Bahamas?
All right, so let's see. I have a few more
I have
shots.
a question. You said that you walked up to the job and you just your first job and you just asking for a job, or how did that play out? What was going through your mind when you said just fuck it, I'm just gonna see if I can get it? Do you have any
Like when I came
experience,
here?
to your first job that gave you said the career that where you're at right now?
So
Car shop.
before I made the calculated move to Miami,
Uh-huh.
I called around to a few different people and said, "Hey, I'm interested in doing this. I have a passion for cars."
Are you being facetious? Was it really? Are you being facetious? Was it really a calculated move?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, sorry.
Okay. Just I missed that part.
It's okay. So I called around and finally found a shop that I was like, hey, I have a tiny bit of experience doing this, which I did. I had a very small amount of experience, but not enough to just walk into a shop and work. But the shop took me in. So I made a trip down to Miami, came to Miami. I met with the shop, showed them my skills, which was nothing at the time. They were like, you know what, we'll help you. And then they, from that point, they just taught me a lot of what I'm not a lot, but all the fundamental basics of what I know now. And then, you know, it's been 2 years and some change now. And since that time, I've wrapped hundreds of cars and tons of colors, and I've had a blast.
Why do you think they didn't want to teach you a lot, or they just didn't have the capabilities to?
No. I just think I outgrew that situation. I think that to this day, those people are very good friends of mine.
Oh, okay.
And I think that I just needed to seize a different opportunity that was better for me at the time.
Okay. Wow.
So you outgrew them because you had better skills or different opportunities?
No,
different vision. What?
It was time to continue with my goals, meaning progress. So I just wanted to move to a different spot that granted me more opportunity.
And they didn't offer that. You said
No, at that time, no, they weren't.
at that time, so they are now.
No, I mean, that company's been dissolved since then, but it was actually kind of perfect timing, but they ended up splitting the company. It was two brothers. They ended up splitting the company around the time that I left, but I ended up finding another company that wanted me to come work for them, and they offered a good bit of money.
Nice.
So, and it was perfect timing. So,
Oh.
Yep. And
So with being in Miami, with the way that your Instagram looks, do you get a lot of girls that come at you the way that the Miami lifestyle?
Can
No.
I see your Instagram? I mean, I'm
I don't
missing
know.
something
It's just
here.
cars. It's cars. You know, girls love cars. I don't know anything
Expensive
about
cars.
Expensive.
Well, he
cars.
does
Okay.
work on very
Okay.
expensive cars.
I mean, it's
And
nothing
then-
fancy.
And then he's in Miami. I feel like it's like if someone didn't know, they just feel like this is the guy to lean towards too when you want to bum off a bag or dinner or something. You don't get any of that interaction.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had a girl come. I've been blessed to say that I have not had a girl come up to me that has tried to get anything off of me for free and then ditched. Like,
Wait, so what bad experience did you have in Miami that you said it affected you?
oh, just poopy girlfriends.
Nice.
Like, just
What's poopy?
Yeah.
poopy entails lying, cheating, and or things of the same.
So this is all in Miami.
but that's me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you got poopy girlfriends, but you didn't get people that used you off of your Instagram.
So if you didn't know him, what would you think about him based off his Instagram? Be honest.
Be honest.
Be honest.
If on your stories all you did was wrap cars, I would probably watch your stories, and like fall into an endless pit of, wow, look at those bubbles disappearing.
I think my stories right now are a mix between like my personal life, funny stuff, and like me being funny and car rapping. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, the more you showed your face on your stories, the less interested I would be.
That's
That has
no.
nothing
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's
nothing to do with nothing to do with your face. But I also
F in the chat.
No.
F in the chat.
No, but I also don't watch my own friends who post tons of
She's-
selfies and stories.
She's
of their
doing
face.
damage control
So
now.
no. I just don't. I like to see stories. of people doing
Liar.
No, I'm different. I have
Thought
to,
we didn't
I have
like
to be
liars.
entertained. I have to be entertained.
I'm just kidding.
I have to be entertained by something, and like,
I mean, cars are pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I mean, have you ever seen
Yeah.
a Ferrari, a LaFerrari, blown apart? I haven't, but I'm waiting for that day, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I don't.
Just a Tesla.
Oh Lord. So all the girls you said that were poopy were in Miami.
No,
Yeah.
no.
See?
Women
Yeah.
do not come up to me and say that. I think since I got my face tattoo, a lot of people come up to me and they're like, "Yeah, bro, did that hurt?" And I'm like, "No, dude, it didn't."
Wait, women
But-
are saying that to you or men?
I would say mix actually. Yeah, but it's very rare. I mean, maybe twice a month a woman will come up to me and be like, "Hi."
So wait, rarely do women shoot their shot at men. So do they like you? Like, what did you get from that? Or they weren't? your type?
They were either asking for directions or they thought I was cute.
And they weren't your type. You were just like, eh.
No, I mean, so I have tons of friends. I've made a lot of friends that way. I go look. If we go to the elevator right now, I'm gonna talk to whoever's in there. I don't care. I make friends. Well, kind of easy. I lose a lot of friends too. I might have to think about that.
Yo, have you ever seen The Mask?
Yeah,
You give me like
Jim Carrey vibes.
Jim Carrey vibes.
Jesus, been here this my whole life,
Really?
and I'm super chill right now.
That's crazy.
You know, I smoked a little to chill out because I
Yeah,
didn't want
the
to come
chat
out,
want-
come in
yeah.
here like the Tasmanian devil. I really want to though,
Really.
but it's serious.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Did you ever do drugs?
No.
Like, at any point?
No,
No?
I just smoke.
Just smoke.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. And honestly, I was prescribed Adderall for a good period of time because of my ADHD, but then I got to the point where I was like, I can just smoke.
Mhm.
And get the same effects with the right stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we are. Never done anything. Probably look like a crackhead, but I'm not. Not that I know of.
Do you abuse smoking? Like, I know a lot of people who just overdo.
Yeah.
Like, I need weed daily when I wake up, when I go to
3
sleep
times a
for
day.
lunch. Is that you?
I think it depends on my mood and when I wake up. So I used to be a morning person. I'm not anymore. But if I get up at 6, 7 and I start my day off the right way, I make my bed. It's the first thing I do every morning. But I make my bed. If I get either some breakfast or I get to work out, I have a 10 times more productive day, which means I don't need to smoke. But if I wake up late and I'm a little rushed or something along those lines, then I'll probably smoke. It'll chill me out, and then I'll walk into work fresh.
Lord.
And at the end of the day, I'll smoke as well because your boy trying to put on some fats.
Cool. So I'm gonna let the chat ask a few questions. We can keep talking about something else. I'm just let the questions come in. Chat, if you guys want to ask them any questions, please go ahead and write it on the chat now. And then while we start to wrap it up, guys, I want to thank you both for coming, especially on short notice.
You're welcome.
What do you guys think about the pod so far?
I enjoy it. I like the dialogue. I like the different points of view. And like I said, if someone thinks I need to expand more, we'll expand, but that's the point of being able to get to the bottom and the root of anything and really understand ourselves and understand others. Because I think at the end of the day, the goal should be to live in a nicer world. There's not going to be world peace, but we should all be doing our best to be our best. And when you're your best, it's because you're caring for others. You're caring for yourself first, but then you also care for others. So the only way you can do that is through dialogue. And dialogue is listening, even to someone that doesn't have any semblance of agreement with what you're saying,
Mhm.
and then you can sit there and say, I see your point.
Mhm.
And your point just made me alter my point. Maybe you didn't completely change my point of view,
Right.
but you altered it for me. And that's growth.
Mhm. I agree with that. I like that a
So
lot.
I like that about the production.
Thank you.
What about you, Chris?
Mine's a bit more of a selfish answer. I think that I have, in recent months, maybe within the last year, become a little bit more of an introvert because with everything that I do, I work by myself. So I don't really want to go out and hang out with friends as much. Or I do want to hang out with friends, but I don't want to go out and party. I don't even want to go to the grocery store anymore. I want to just order my stuff. So I appreciate being invited here. It's helped me get a little bit more out of my shell like I used to be, which means Chris tomorrow is gonna be crazy. Okay. Only leaps and bounds. Okay. And then also I do enjoy it a lot. I think I think it might help clear the air for some people out there asking some questions that they just don't know who to talk about, or who to talk to, or what to talk about with who. So I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are too.
Yeah, someone wanted to ask you, brother in Christ, what will you require from a potential girlfriend moving forward?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I value determination. I value courage, and I value work ethic. If you can,
All those
just
things sounds like manly things, though.
no,
You
not,
want that from a woman?
yeah. I think that women are super strong, dude.
You want
I-
her to be courageous, a
Yeah.
hard worker, and
Yeah.
what else?
Just have a good work ethic. Just be. I don't know, productive, I guess.
I agree with him on that. I know we spoke about this earlier. Eric has this idea that women should just stay at home.
I want my woman to be at home,
Okay. All right, Eric.
have
Eric.
food for me.
Okay, I'm your woman.
be
I
my
make
I
your
didn't
food.
say I wanted her
Look,
to pay
hold
for
on,
everything.
hold on, Eric. I'm
I want a
your
Prada
woman.
bag too, though. But
I make your food.
Okay.
I cook your chicken halfway. It's raw. I only wash the bottom of the plates and not the top. I'm doing everything you need me to do.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
That's terrible work ethic, though. I didn't do it the right way all the way.
No, okay. Now you're being extreme. I'm saying I would like my woman to.
no, I don't mean it like that. Oh, I don't mean it like that. I love doing the dishes. I'll do the laundry
Sure,
too. I
but-
don't give a damn.
But at the end of the day, you have to do it right. I mean, you're not gonna throw dirty clothes in the dryer with a dryer sheet and they're like, oh, it's clean because it smells good, right?
I feel like I've done that before, but definitely in college.
Yo, that's
I've totally
funny.
done that before.
All right, so if you were my wife, right?
Yes.
You'd be at home, you'd cook for me, you'd
Yes.
clean, you'd
Yes.
take care of the home, and then you'd have to satisfy me. That's all I want. I don't ask
Wait,
for you to pay the bills.
Am I okay? So
I
I'm
don't-
not paying the bills.
You're not paying the bills.
If I'm not paying the bills, I'm rubbing your feet when you get home. The
Right.
house is gonna be clean. There's gonna be a candle. If I don't have to worry about anything,
right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's
Absolutely.
not the type of woman I want.
But you know
want a
what? I'm
man.
gonna
I mean,
have-
yes, it is, and no, it's
Wait,
not.
wait,
But the
wait,
thing
no,
is,
that's crazy.
I'm gonna have my own thing on the side
Right,
because how
but
long
you
does
said
it take to keep a house clean? How long
Not
does it
long.
take to make dinner? How long does it take to, sleep?
You
with
can't be
your
on
man?
Tinder though while I'm working.
Well, she might
don't
be
have to
because
be.
all she's
Nah.
doing is cleaning
Nah.
and rubbing your
Yeah,
damn
I-
feet.
I
It
think
doesn't take that long to clean a house. It doesn't take when you're tidy
So what would
and
you
you run an
so
organized
what would you
house.
do to keep yourself occupied?
Whatever business I was interested in, if we were,
Oh, I thought she meant something else. My bad. I'm sorry. I thought she was like, well, the neighbor next door is gonna keep me occupied if you don't.
no, whatever
Uh,
you know.
So like
I mean,
a side
yeah.
hustle, right?
Yeah, of
yeah.
course, you have to have
I
something
said
to
this
keep you
shit
busy.
earlier.
She said it earlier.
I called it.
Yeah.
We
You
had
don't
this-
you don't have to give up like your whole life just because
Yeah.
you're at home.
Absolutely, not at all. You shouldn't.
I
You
don't think
shouldn't.
it's good for the mind. That's how dementia happens. That's all.
Yeah.
All that stuff happens because the brain probably like people don't. They stop thinking. They eat like shit, and all of it
Yeah.
just combines. You just become a fossil. So personally, I think Eric has this caveman mentality that women
There
should
you
just
go.
stay at home.
Yep, caveman.
Yes. But I think it's like he's set and deep in like an old traditional value. And for me, it's just like, dude, we're in modern time. But the scary part about that is I think that women tend to go too far into like, I can provide for myself and I don't need any man. And that's the scary part where I don't think it's good to say that because at a certain point, I love my boyfriend. Like I can't sit here and say that. I think it's very demeaning and also it's a try to him. So I would never say that, but there's certain things that he can do that I can't do. And there's certain things that I could do that he doesn't want to do. So I think it's a happy balance. You
Okay.
disagree because she's on. What is it?
Okay, so absolutely, yes, we all need companionship
Mhm.
and partnership. As for me, no, at this point in my life, I don't need anyone for survival purposes.
Mhm.
No. Would I like to have a companion? Yeah, it's nice to have a companion,
Mhm.
right? But I can take care of myself, pay my own bills. I keep my house clean. I have a lot of me time. I love,
Mhm.
right?
100% cotton sheets feel way better with two people in them.
Yeah, I would say
But-
that.
Right. But it's nice to have a companion, and we need that, because how else are you going to know when you're fucking up unless you have, you know, an intimate relationship or somebody, a partner, to tell you, hey, like, that was probably not the greatest thing that you have ever done.
Mhm.
But they tell it to you with love, right? So
Right.
then you get to go back and you get to say, yeah, you're probably right. I should do that over or fix it.
All right, guys, real quick. Sorry. Someone in the chat says they want you to look at her IG.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't know her, what would you think about her? So remember, you don't know her. You've never met her before.
Well, she's pretty flexible.
Okay. Give it to her straight. So pretty flexible. That's the first thing you know.
You look extremely confident and happy. Wait, I scrolled out 1 moment.
Can I see?
Yeah, they just.
It's your page.
Say,
He's looking at your Instagram page.
Oh,
yeah, it's you. Yeah,
Oh,
you look
sorry.
super happy and
But
confident.
but notice though.
I didn't even realize her.
The
I
first
was just scrolling like, okay.
well, yeah, because she looked at yours first. The first thing you noticed was flexible.
Yeah, you look super flexible. I can't do
right.
That was all you needed to know,
That's
was
fine.
that she was
Okay.
flexible.
That's not
Yeah.
all I needed to know. That was the first thing that I noticed.
First thing you notice, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first picture is her doing like a fucking T with her legs like this. Like this. I can't do that. Can you do that?
I
Eric?
definitely can't. I'm not flexible like that. No.
Oh my
No.
lord.
All right. Sorry. I'm just reading somebody's chat. Someone says that based off what you said you wanted in a woman, that it sounds like you want a Hulk.
I'm sorry.
Who, me?
Talking about you.
A Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because remember, you
Like
wanted
a She-Hulk?
someone who's courageous, hardworking.
I think all of those traits are feminine, very feminine, and can be very
I
feminine.
think it's how you translate it. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
It's also connotation versus denotation, or you could
Of
just use a
course.
different adjective that's more feminine or
Yeah,
masculine.
yeah, correct.
Okay. It says Eric wants a woman to rub his feet. That sounds
I
like
can
the good
understand.
life.
I can understand. Eric, you're the
I mean,
worst.
I also want my feet rubbed, but I can also go down to the massage parlor, or I can go get my toes done and have my feet rubbed the shit out of them, like amazing,
Right.
for $100.
Right.
For 100.
Is that
bucks,
expensive
You can have that for free.
for a pedicure?
Bucks?
No, 100. Like
Oh,
30 bucks.
Um,
No,
35.
for-
I do it once a month.
40.
yeah, for a woman, we usually spend about the month. For guys, it's like $40 for a guy.
40 bucks.
Yeah, but she had to use not the last time I went. The first time I went though, she had to use the grinder.
Oh, she's greater on you.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't expect.
All
that.
right.
Where's Eric's lotion?
Kevin.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know where that lotion went. Kevin says, thanks for the podcast. I'm going through a tough time. Listening to you guys is empowering.
Great.
Wait, look at that.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate that. Daniel says, if we reduce her mass.
I do have a filter sometimes.
Okay.
Filter.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh wait, this is the. Oh, I'm so sorry.
KP says, what do you think the dude needs to be more masculine? And the chick needs to settle down with a divorced man with kids.
Oh,
The
God.
second wife and to be an average man. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry. Can you rephrase? the
Okay, yeah.
question?
They're commenting a lot. It's being scrolled up.
I just-
Says, what do you think the dude need? Okay, so I think maybe it's asking us. I don't know, man. I think as far as you, it says to settle down with a man. Do you think you need to settle down with a man that has kids, or just anybody that comes your way?
If
Would you settle
my-
if a perfect guy
Right.
came along right now, he had kids, would you settle down with him?
my kids are almost gone and out of the house, so if I met someone who had younger kids, I'm not interested in raising
There you go.
more kids. I've already raised mine.
There you
Mine
go,
are
guys.
gone. So no.
There
Tiny
you go,
children,
guys.
no,
That says a
thank
lot
you.
right there.
Yeah.
That's
Well, why do it over? If I wanted to do it over, I'd get pregnant.
but if he
again,
was the
right?
love of your life, why wouldn't you do it? because men do it for women all the time. Would you say that more men take care of other people's kids or more women take care?
More
of-
more
okay.
men for sure. But again, the love of my life is myself. So,
Okay.
so it just boils down to needs and wants. I don't prefer to raise more children. I'm done. I did the work. God, it's been exhausting.
I'm ready for kids.
Are you really ready for kids?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm super ready for kids.
you're at a nice age.
But we have to date first. He has to get the dating part.
I mean, yeah, I'm hoping somebody from 10 years ago says, hey.
changes
What's
their
up?
mind and just circles back around. Is that what you're hoping?
They circle
for?
back around and they're like, hey,
Are you ready? I'm
this
ready.
your son.
Oh.
Oh, no one else understood. My bad. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'll be like, hello.
Wait, do you feel like you're in a good headspace to have kids? Like you're in a good place.
I feel like I am confident in myself that I would be a good dad.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anyone message me and say, hey, let's have babies. No. Okay. But if one pops up, so be it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, guys.
Great.
This is a funny chat today. This is
yeah,
everywhere.
You guys are amazing.
This is thank you for sort of going into depth today. We got as far as we could today.
yeah.
Baby steps. Like I feel like we're scaring the chat or the chat's scaring us. I don't know what's going on right now because they're completely on the opposite side of the rails today. They're unhinged. Like what
Yeah.
the fuck?
The chat happened. Something some days we have like some real chill chats, and today it was the opposite.
Yeah.
So
My lip gloss is popping. That's why. That's why.
Oh.
You need to go to Russia, apparently.
Who?
Send this dude to Russia.
Oh.
do you want to read
Yes,
some of these
you
chats
need to go to Russia.
before we go?
I'm
I'll let
good.
you read some of the chats. Go ahead.
Oh, my favorite was Eric. That was your chance to push, and you didn't.
Wow, wow,
Bro,
wow.
the chat is
She belongs
funny.
to the street.
Do you hear that a lot?
That I belong to the street.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I do
I
belong
feel like
to
only
the
kids say
streets.
that. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait. What do you mean when you say that? I don't get this.
I do. What I said? I do belong to the street.
Did you just agree?
Do you
to
know what that means?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what it means?
What does it mean?
100%. That
What does it
that
mean?
Belongs to the streets. That anybody can have me.
She a hoe.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Why not? If that's what you get from this, God bless you.
Oh Lord.
I don't think you belong to the streets.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Your Instagram says otherwise.
I haven't-
You belong to the studio.
I belong to the studio.
And I'm ready for that to open up so I can do some holistic wellness.
Oh
That's
my
great.
god.
You guys.
This is funny.
This is a crazy chat. This is the
Bro, you're
first
not.
time.
All right.
You're saying that, but we're not hearing you. Oh, bro, you're not confident. I think everyone here has been confident.
Oh Lord. Okay, onward. Thank you for letting us scroll through the chat. This has been a funny, great table. Great going into depth with everybody. I hope you guys had a good chat. I hope we were able to not piss anybody off.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
I don't think I reached my goal. My intention was to piss someone off. But
Really?
I didn't want to piss anyone off.
They were pretty pissed in the chat.
They're pretty- yeah. Great.
I feel like this is the first time touching into this type of topic, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this right now. I thought I could do this, but damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys will watch this over one day and see how we feel. We might change our tune in like a week or two.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this is only our 5th episode, guys. We're brand new. By the way, someone in the chat said we just hit 500 subs. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
For the first 5 episodes, it's actually a really great milestone to reach.
Does that mean I'll be brought back on episode 50?
Shoot, maybe.
Yeah,
The chat seems
yeah.
to like you a lot.
My
Yeah.
chat loves you.
I'll come back. And next time I'll smoke more. Like I'm pretty chill now. Like I had a bit of a Red Bull and I'm
Oh,
A Red Bull.
shit.
yeah, I had a Red Bull and I smoked some ganja.
He's gonna come back with some
Yo.
like random.
No,
baby
I'm gonna
next
come back and be
time.
like, what's up,
I
dude?
got a baby.
Yeah, I got a baby now.
The baby.
I saw the thing going down the road.
All right, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Follow us on
Yeah.
TikTok. Comment. Leave any comments. Anything we could have done better in this video. And
Anything else you want to say before we go? I think the chat really liked you.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I have nothing else to say except for subscribe, because what they're doing here is really
Yeah,
no,
definitely
what they're doing
subscribe.
what they're doing here is really a service to society and a service to community. So yeah, everybody join in, be community.
Where can
Make
they
it
reach you
happen.
at if they want to reach you? Where can they reach you at?
Oh, I'm unreachable.
I'll tell my
Unreachable.
number right now.
Please don't reach me.
8675309.
She said, "Please don't reach her, guys." I'm pretty sure you're reachable.
My Instagram's a rap scientist if anyone's
Wait,
interested in or has any questions.
For anybody in the chat that wants to know, do you have a Tinder?
No.
You don't have it. You
No.
deleted it.
Do you have
Yeah.
any dating app?
No.
When was your last date?
When I tried Tinder out for 7 days and made those 10 dates, and then I closed it, and that's it.
Damn, you hit 10 dates in 7 days. You were busy.
That's
was
what I'm
fun.
saying. I don't
It
get
was
10
fun.
dates in a year. What the
It was
Bro,
fun.
That's crazy. Wait,
That's how
That's
Tinder
fun.
in a
works.
year?
I'm out of here.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna end this. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you
Yes.
subscribe.
Ah,
Take care, guys.
don't forget, everyone's link is in the bio.
Oh, that's right. Everyone's links. in the bio.
Eric.
Sorry about
You heard
that.
yours, so I heard his.
All right.
What-
Cool. Take care, guys.
Peace.
I think you guys for sure were the two most